Ooh, hello. Hey, goddesses. My camera is too low. I don't like how low it is. Hi. Welcome if you're here on the live. Hi, Nita. Nita Tarasco. Hello, hello, hello.
How low it is. Hi.
Whoops, whoops, whoops.
Welcome if you're here
Got
on the
echo.
live.
Hang on,
Hi,
guys. Cut that off. So get a cup of tea. I have my cup. It's old. Hold on. It says blessed on it. Hold on. What am I drinking anyway? Here. Blessed. I should make a cup that says blissed and blessed. I made a journal. It says blissed and blessed. Check it out on Amazon. I'll put the link. Oh my gosh, guys. What a day. What a day it's been. I am here. I will take questions. I'll pull some cards. I had a tough day. I'm not going to lie. Actually, my day was, I'm going to wait till more folks are here. Then I'm going to tell you some stories, take your questions. Like I said, I've got cards. You guys know I've got my baskets where I keep my divination tools. How are you doing? Let me know in the chat. And I'm moving my light. That's what I'm doing. I want my light. See how like on one side is dark? I want to bring my lights in. So hang on. Those of you watching the replay, yes, this is live. So live is a little different than a pre-recorded video. Love you guys. I'm so grateful that you're here. All right, that's pretty good. It's kind of casting a weird shadow, but I think it'll be okay. Let me move one more time. Let me see. All right, goddesses, this is going to have to be it. So how are you guys doing? I can put your comments up. I'm just going to pop one up. Get a cup of tea. I don't think I'm going to be super long on this live, but yeah, let me know how you're doing. And then I am going to tell a story. My day was going beautifully, you guys. There's a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about something very serious, but if you saw, what did I title this video? Guard Your Peace, I think was the name. Guard Your Peace. Is that right? Give me a yes if that is what I titled it. Because we all know there's some craziness going on in our country, in America. Those of you who are here in the US. Some stuff happened that is really quite serious, but what I think, especially those of us in the Black community, I think a lot of us are just trying to focus on Thanksgiving and focus on our lives and our family. So yeah, I think I will mention that now. I don't particularly want to even say the person's name, but there was just a recent, recent verdict that I think is an intuitive, and I'm going to share it here. I think is an intuitive, and my audience is from all over. So when I say, I have to say specifically the Black community, because somebody may be watching from Poland or Portugal or something, and they don't necessarily know what's going on. And I welcome you. I welcome all of you here. But there's a case, sorry guys, cat hair, that where someone was managed to kill 2 people and injure a 3rd person and was set free on the grounds of self-defense. And so I think what I want to say as an intuitive is that I think this has very negative ramifications for the country. I hesitate to say that because, my channel is not about politics, but this just really struck me. I know someone, I've talked to different friends, but someone who said they were nearly in tears when they saw this verdict. And I know someone else who's like, well, I expected that they would be let go, so that is the belief that, I knew that they would be let go from their crimes. Anyway, so you guys know what I'm talking about. You know the case I'm talking about. As an intuitive, I do think that it does not bode well for the country. I know for some of us, we're fine, we're safe, or some of you haven't heard of it, don't understand the case, it has to do with, anyway, I'm not going to get into it, but it was very upsetting, as you guys can tell, because I'm rambling. Yeah. Yeah. Um, yeah. Exactly. So I was explaining to a friend who's in Portugal now, who lives now in Portugal, but is from the United States. And, the case was covered all over the world. So yes, there's the reaction of, I'm really not surprised. But again, the implications are going, I feel, could be very negative. And so that's why I have the theme Guard Your Peace, because I think that all of us, whatever our backgrounds, when there's stress out in the world, like right now, the world is crazy. So I will share this. So the friend who, is in Portugal said that her husband, who is Portuguese, has been saying that America's going crazy. Okay, so this is a Portuguese person. They're not in America. They're just viewing, and they're just like, America's going nuts. Like, what is it? And then she said, she finally even said to her husband, yeah, I think you might be right. I think you might be right. So, I know that I want a peaceful country. I want, equality. It's just a shame. It's just not even a discussion, because I could go down that road of, I wanted to be a lawyer, you guys, and I would have made it through law school. And, I'm a talker. There's so many things that were not sort of allowed in this particular case, and also so many mitigating factors that were not considered at all, that make the whole thing really absurd and frightening. And a lot of people are living in fear. And I think that, again, it's really hard for me to talk about this, but I think a lot of the people who feel that was a good verdict have a lot of fear. And what happens is, when you live from fear, you create an environment. You create what you're afraid of. Okay. And that sounds very woo-woo, but if I broke it down for you, and some of you, let me know, give me a yes if you can see it. Meaning, if you're afraid of so many things that you feel you need to be armed this much, as you arm yourself more happens, and more people are armed. And if more people are armed, if I'm upset with you, let me just break it down simply. If I'm upset with you, and it's just you and me, I could slap you, I could punch you, you could do that. Okay, that's a certain amount of harm. Even a person with a knife, okay, they can do a certain amount of harm. Obviously, if somebody has, a weapon, and depending on the capacity of that, they can do much more harm. So when people are so afraid and come from that, which is the root chakra, you basically create what you're afraid of. And so that's what I'm seeing is playing out here, where a certain portion of the population, hi if you're just joining me, feels the need to be armed to a certain degree, which then has other people feeling they need to be armed, and it just goes into a spiral. I mean, and to me, that's very obvious. Obviously, if you want a peaceful world, that wouldn't be the direction you'd go in. So I know many people of various backgrounds, but many people are seeing if they can leave America, go to a place where they feel there's more fairness and perhaps less gun violence, for example. I don't know. What do you guys think? So hence the Guard Your Peace. Like I said, it's hard to talk about without going in depth, but I think that most of my viewers would understand how, being let off, having the crimes that were committed, the acts that were done, and then to just walk out of a courtroom. I kind of expected maybe a slap on the wrist and maybe 4 or 5 years, something low, but still, but something, but so that didn't even happen. So anyway, let me look at your comments. Yes. Oh, see, this is why I go on live. All empires. Yes. BB, I don't know you. You're new to me, but BB, the fact that you use the word empires, again, I am intuitive, and that's where I'm coming from. I'm telling you, empires rise and fall, and they fall from the inside. It's different factors that crumble them. So yeah, Rome didn't fall in a day, right? Different factors weakened it. And so it's just clear to me as a visionary that if you America's at a point where it can choose one road or the other road, and the road that appears to be continuing to choose, empire, they fall. They have a good run. They have a good run, and maybe for some people more than others. But definitely, there were definitely positives, especially for certain periods of time in America. But now, yeah, empires rise and empires fall. And so that word really jumps out at me, BB, that you said. Yeah. I think that's a very, 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 yeah, Deej, I want to address that. So yeah, I want to hear your comments. Like I said, I don't even want to say the person's name on my channel. It was just so upsetting. I know many people who are not, people of color, who are not Black or brown, who are also very upset because they kind of see, just morally, it doesn't feel right to them, even around the world. So there are many places, Deej, and there's a beautiful channel. I'm going to try to think of, I recommend her all the time. There's no money, there's no kickback. Her name is Stephanie Perry. So for those of you who are interested, she primarily addresses an audience of Black women who many have relocated. Mexico, I know this is going to sound strange. I talked about this, but this is, see how my mood changes when we have to protect our peace. So, and I understand some people, there are definitely people in America who feel that verdict was just. I am the type of person, though, if I were white, if I were Asian, I look at things very neutrally, and I've gotten in trouble for that. I really think I could be an excellent judge. And so some things that were left out of that case were statements that were made previously, actions, and I probably will take this video down after I record it, actually, but if I know that there is violence happening somewhere and I'm going to go in there armed, and then I'm going to say that I became frightened, to me, I don't understand wouldn't the first thing be to not go where you know that there is danger? You are not a police, you are not a first responder, you are not a fireman, right? And you're going to go into a situation and get in there and then say, oh, I felt threatened, therefore I did this. Now, to me, there's no sense in that. And there should be, and I think a few states still have it, where if you're under threat, the first thing is can you escape? Many of you know now, I think Florida is a state where there's like a stand your ground. And again, I wasn't going to talk about this, but I feel like you have to be brave. I know some celebrities won't touch any of this because they care about their brand, and maybe they have a film they have to protect, and I understand that. But it seems to me that throughout millennia, the first thing a human would do if they were under threat would be to try to flee. But apparently in some places in America now, that's not even something that is considered. It's, oh, I'm going to, based on my perception of a situation, I'm going to cause harm to another person. As I said, if we just had our hands, we would fight. If we even had a knife, there's a certain amount of damage. But when somebody comes in armed to a certain degree, then obviously they can cause much more harm in a situation. So anyway, it's just crazy to me. That's all I can say. So yes, Mexico, strangely enough, because I know, of course, there's issues with the border, and many Mexicans want to come here to try and work. But if you, depending on your income level, Mexico is actually cheaper to live in, and there are many safe places in Mexico. So check out Stephanie Perry's channel. It's a long story short. So yeah, like you guys can tell, I'm just upset. Shocked. I mean, shocked, like I said, I thought there'd be a little slap on the like, oh, bad, I'm gonna give you 5 years and a couple of years probation. But so the degree of like, no, it's okay. I also have to say, even just that, Yeah. 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 I'm going to put up your different comments here. Yeah, agree. Yeah. Yeah. Well, BB, what do you mean? Talk to me about that. What, I don't know who you're responding to, and just break that down more. The thing is, again, there are many places in the world that are cheaper to live than the US. So I was really responding to Dej and many people like the writer Baldwin, and many, even going back, you guys, to Josephine Baker. So again, if you're watching from around the world, I'm sure, she, I think, was in the 20s. She was a dancer, and she fled the US. She didn't like the conditions in the US and became really famed and just renowned in France. So many artists have lived in different places, and they were not rich, especially when they left. So many writers, and I think even Chaka Khan, actually. Who out here loves some Chaka Khan? This tells me what age you are. Okay. Who out there loves some Chaka Khan? Falls into my age group. I mean, she's an icon. Even Tina Turner. Many people of color do reside other places for the reasons that I spoke about. So, BB, I want to know what you mean exactly. Let's see it. So I'm just going to put this up and read it, BB. Yeah. The Caribbean, absolutely. Yeah, of course. Yeah. So yeah, I'm from the Caribbean, and like I said, America has, there's a fork in the road, and my hope and my prayer, and this is where I am a spiritual person, and many people, there's a duality there too, right? There are those who's like, just, this is the reality. But I think that there is, it's important to have hope, and more important than just hope, though, to, action, all of that, but also to maintain our peace. So, BB, for me, yeah, I think especially for communities of color where we feel a sense of real threat, continued threat and stress, not just COVID, but there's so many layers, lower income, higher rates of illness with COVID, losing a job that maybe didn't make that much anyway. All of those are stressors that are unique. Yes, so absolutely. It's just, so that's where I think our peace, because, and that's very difficult. I'm not saying that that's easy at all. It's just not, it's not easy. Right. No, Deej, I hear you. For me, though, it's very hard to talk about, but mindset does come into play. I do think start looking at yourself, all of us need to look at the positives that we offer. We all have their different issues. We all have different issues, but as I said, you're not gonna think outside the box unless you allow yourself to. So again, there are many, many countries where it is cheaper to live than the US. That's just a fact. Mexico being one of them. Check out Stephanie Perry's channel. I know you're not into the binary, you're non-binary, but she has a lot of information there, and a lot of Black women have found different parts of Mexico where they feel very comfortable. And there are, in fact, some like communities where they're, African Americans living in Mexico. So yeah, that's just one place. And in fact, if you have, and this is, again, isn't the focus of my channel, but in terms of maintaining our inner peace, there are, I was going to say other countries, but Mexico, but there are other countries. There are parts of the Caribbean, potentially, but Mexico is one. There are a lot of places where healthcare, for example, Dej specifically, is actually cheaper. It's so cheap that you literally can pay out of pocket. Apparently, this is the thing. But if you, yeah. So that's all I'm saying, is to allow yourself to do some research. Yes, Tina Turner. Yeah. Now he's like, oh, love Chaka Khan. Yes. Oh, she only does her contractual time session. BB, I was at a Chaka Khan concert over a decade ago. Okay. She's still going, is amazing. I want to say she fell off the stage. She was singing and she just like fell. If I remember correctly, she like fell off the stage. But I remember a statement she made. She's like, she was afraid of raising her son. She's like, I don't want, my son is Black, and she didn't feel safe. And that was the 70s. That was the 70s. So for those of you who are watching from other parts of the world, perhaps to understand the frustration and the despair is the word I would use. So Chaka Khan is a very well-known singer and a soul singer. And I think in the 70s, she sent her son abroad. And that was just her statement. And like I said, that was the 70s, late 60s into 70s. So how can we guard our peace? How can we guard our peace? Yes, that it is worldwide, of course. But again, and I want to address this. This is what humans have always done. Humans have always moved. What do you think? In fact, why do people are trying to come into the United States? Why people move where they feel they have the best opportunity. So all of our ancestors, and again, I'm not thinking of your grandma and your grandpa. I'm thinking go back 500, go back 1,000, go back further. Many of us on every continent, our people shifted. They needed more food. There wasn't enough game. The weather changed. Another tribe moved in. So this is part of human history. So I want to pull it back to that as well. So humans have always had to move. War, famine, hatred has existed throughout human history. I think that's important to state as well. It really has. This is not new. And so sometimes we do have to move. We just have to think about it. And again, don't just say, I don't have money to do it. As I said, there might be there are artist colonies, maybe it's 2 months just to get a break, for example. Think outside of the box. Don't put yourself in a box and then say, I can't, because a solution will not come. A solution will not come in that case. Yeah. BB, absolutely. Absolutely. Well, yeah, the sentence actually doesn't make complete sense. It is ironic, but they're questionable doesn't fit with the idea of irony. It is ironic that yes, there's this, but it makes sense, and it's actually economics. Maybe I will break that down. As I said, this isn't usually what my channel's about, but there are certain types of jobs in America that yes, people coming from Mexico would want. What I'm talking about are people who either are able to work online, they're African Americans who are able to work online, or Stephanie Perry herself literally does house sitting. She does house sitting in Mexico for whoever owns a house in Mexico. She'll go and literally have free housing, and she's like able to do that for much of the year. So again, guys, think outside the box. Okay, so yes, it's Americans often, or if they've saved a lot of money, and some people have been able to, right? You guys have maybe heard of FIRE. Have you heard of the FIRE movement? You just save a lot of your money, retire early. There are ways to do it. As I said, housing is way cheaper than in the US. And so if you're either able to continue working online or do a job, there are many jobs now where you can do your job online. So you could live in a lower cost country, okay? But it takes a certain amount of either technical skill or education. And so the jobs that Mexicans may be wanting to get here in America are different jobs. So I could absolutely see that flow. I know it does appear ironic, but indeed, it's like a different track, okay? There are many Americans who are moving to Thailand, for example. Sorry, guys, something's in my eye. I'm just throwing that out there. I'm not arguing with you that it's, these are possibilities, because that's what I'm about. I'm about the positivity and the possibilities, because I do think, so let me switch into the spiritual aspect if you're just joining us. There are forces, I have felt it myself. There are forces, I would even say that they're human, and then even some spiritual, I would say dark forces that want us to be in despair and want us to feel disempowered. Okay, so now I'm getting to another level of this, not just this is what we see, this is the history. I'm saying we almost have to fight Oh, thank you. We almost have to fight to maintain our energy, our positivity. It doesn't mean we don't see what's happening. As I said, I was just talking with some of my clients and they were like, I'm planning for Thanksgiving. You're going about your day to day. It's not that you don't see the craziness, right? You get me, right? It's not that they don't see it. Believe me, they're aware of it. But it's like, I'm going to focus on my family. When times are in chaos, I think humans, for our own peace of effing mind, do this, right? We focus, you want to keep your family safe. And again, some people see their safety, they view it a different way, and then they view threat a different way. But we want to, and we just draw more close to our family, and we just try to live our day to day. Because many of us do feel powerless. And what I'm saying is, I think there really are dark spiritual forces right now trying to have, not just Black people, not just Black and brown people, but have people feel disempowered. So meditation, you guys know I always talk about meditation because I'm going to tell you, this is what happened to me. Like I said, I was not going to talk about the blank trial of the young man, of the child who felt he needed to go into a dangerous zone, armed in another state. Okay. But we need to, I lost my train of thought. We need to protect our peace of mind. We need to meditate. Yeah. So this is what I want to share with you guys. This is my tip for you. I was teaching the Chakra Course and we were up to the third eye and the crown. And I led a meditation, and really in that moment, as I'm leading the meditation, and even as I think about it now, I just got so calm. So what I'm saying to you is, we're aware of the chaos. You want to have clear seeing, right? You can see the chaos around you, but this is like in movies, when you see the fight of good and evil. The fight is to not fall into the evil yourself. Okay? Give me a yes if you get what I'm saying. To not fall, because then that wins. Think of it like the hatred that some in our country have for other people and other groups, blanket sort of hatred. If you fall prey to that, you are at that same vibration that is not a good vibration on so many levels. It's not good for your health. It's not good for your well-being. So what I'm saying is, it's like a spiritual battle to see what's going on and yet stay connected to God, the divine spirit, whatever you want to call it, and have some sort of faith also. Have some sort of faith. And like I said, the humans, and I say this because I really do feel like an interstellar person more and more. Humans have always found a reason they hate each other. This, again, so like to Deej and those watching, how does that help us? It helps us because it's like, this isn't new. It's not even the transatlantic slave trade. It's barbarism. I like that word, you guys. Barbarism, okay? Barbarism has always existed. It's part of, it appears to be part of humanity. And it disturbs me because I don't really understand it. I want to show you guys. I pulled this card. My card for the week was, hold on. It's a beautiful card. I'll hold it up to you. Barbarism in humans has existed since the beginning of time, but so has our higher nature. But yeah, so I got this Lady of the Stars card. And it just is, it's about kind of interstellar connections and just sort of higher vibration. So yeah, I've never really understood. I mean, I'm not saying I don't get upset or angry, and sometimes you do want to you feel like you want to take action against a person. But there's a part of us, of most of us humans, that knows that's ultimately not good. We have a certain amount of control. And so I feel like for some parts of the population, that is not the case. But we're evolving. But as I would say it again, barbarism has always been part of the human condition. whether it's you're not the right tribe, you don't speak my language, going back to like the caveman, you're a different tribe, I don't trust you, I don't like you, I'm going to kill you kind of thing. And that is still continuing to this day, sadly. I'm shuffling some cards. So we have to keep our peace. The main way to keep your peace is meditation. I literally did a third eye meditation and crown chakra, and I got such a sense of peace, because think about it. When you do let these things really upset you, it doesn't mean you can't act, but if you let things really upset you, like cases where the rules are decency, humanity is rewritten, and cause and effect is not, cause and effect. Okay. You do something, this happens, where that's sort of overlooked. We have to meditate. We have to stay peaceful within for our own health, for our own blood pressure. When you get really angry and upset, that affects the cortisol, that affects all the hormones in your body. Many in the Black community, high blood pressure, I believe, is much higher because of stress. It isn't just diet, because there's also diet, yes, but it's the level of stress. So high blood pressure is actually used as a marker, you guys. There was some study about world happiness, and one of the things they used was high blood pressure. So countries where people had high blood pressure, they were like, well, obviously the people are not happy and at ease. And so it's interesting, this was a study, and they chose that as a indicator of discontent, of disharmony, was high blood pressure. And it's definitely much higher in the Black community, as well as other illnesses. So there's just a lot of stress, and that's why I'm harping on the meditation. Okay, I'm shuffling cards. I'll pull a card if somebody has a question. Please don't have me do this if you've done this in the last month or so. Let somebody else. Guys, I'm having some tulsi tea. Tulsi is an herb. It grows in Africa and India, and it's a stimulant, but it's a tonic stimulant herb called tulsi, Tulsi. You can get it in the supermarket. You might want to check that out. Just speaking of herbs. So we might need to focus on our health, because to bring it back to the positive. Hi, if you're just joining, I was talking about just some recent events in the US. Sorry, guys. Literally, when I go live, something gets in my eye. And how we need to protect our peace. So don't feel that being peaceful and being happy is wrong. That's also what I'm trying to say. Because, like I said, there are forces that want you to be stressed. And I don't just blame the media. I think that's the media is reporting on what's happening. Yes, the media does not report on all the positive things. That's true. But why is that? Because people don't watch news to see positive things. So how are you going to blame the media for that? The media reflects the population. Okay. And they shape it, but they reflect it. So yes, there are many positive things that have gone on day to day that are not chronicled, because we watch what's shocking, what's disturbing, what's strange. That's how YouTube works, you guys. If you don't know, YouTube shows what people will watch, and people watch things that are shocking, funny, shocking, disturbing, agitating. Okay, I'm just letting you guys know that is how YouTube works. That's how these algorithms work. So, and that's what many people want to watch. They want to watch things that make them fearful, that make them agitated, and so on. So I'm not saying, so I do not blame, it's not all the media. Things are happening. There are things that many of us know have been happening that weren't covered. So that didn't mean they weren't happening, right? That the media now covers more of certain things. Yes, that has an effect, but they were happening, because there's a part of the country who wants to deny that some things are happening, and say, oh, well, we would be more peaceful if the media weren't telling us. But, I think it's important to know some bad things that are happening. So how do we maintain our peace? How do you guys maintain your peace? How do you maintain your peace? What do you do? I feel like some people are doing cannabis. I was just somewhere where somebody's like, oh, I'm in cannabis culture. I'm like, okay, I don't even know what that means really. Cannabis culture. Guys, I'm of the age, and I know some of my viewers are, where, yeah, to see things being legalized, I'm just like confused. I'm like, wait, so in a state, what state can you do what? And rather than get any confusion, I just am not involved. I actually have to say though, hemp oil, I want to recommend it because that's how I am. If something works for me, I want to tell you about it. Hemp oil puts me right to sleep. So tell me, have you guys tried hemp oil? I don't try any of those, the DHC and I don't know, the abbreviations, it's too much. But hemp oil really works for me, puts me right like out to sleep. And some herbal tea. Those things put me to sleep. Mm. That's a huge question, BB. Okay, I'm leaving this up so folks can read it. And yeah, this like, I don't know, in my left eye, living in the West. You know what my intuitive feeling is? That's obviously, I think there will be pockets of peace and there will be pockets of violence and unrest, as always throughout history. That's what will happen. That's always been the case. There have been people who've managed to live peacefully, and 30 miles away or 2 miles away, something horrible happens. So I think it will be very variable. That's the sense I get. It'll be very, very variable. And this is why I harp a lot on intuition. I think beyond meditation, all of you watching, you need to start to hone your intuition. I think intuition, the inner knowing, the wisdom is going to be really important to know where to go, where to be. Something as simple as, should I go to the supermarket today? All right, I'm being serious here. Should I go to the supermarket today? Should I try to order the food in? Should I take that route to work? I think it's going to be that important that we are tuned into our intuition. And meditation is the primary way, because when you meditate, what you're doing ultimately is getting quiet. Okay? Nobody calls me till I'm like live on YouTube. So you're getting quiet and you're hearing. And so I just really think we need to start to live more balanced lives. And I know that's very hard for the many reasons I hinted at before. Again, living in the US takes a lot of money. Hang on, guys. I watch a guy who I've seen do this. I'll talk to you later. I'm actually live on YouTube. There's a guy I watch, he'll get up and go to the bathroom during his live. Like, he's like, I'll be back. I'm like, dude. And everybody just keeps chatting and they're like, oh, bathroom break. He was drinking so much water. Anyway, so yeah. He's taken a phone call. I think he muted. I thought that was hilarious. He like muted us, the audience watching, and he's just like talking on the phone. Like, dude, who does this? Anyway, so thanks for your patience. So yeah, I think, BB, that's a great question. It's going to, obviously, and that's a vast area you talked about, the Caribbean. One island might be fine. One neighborhood in an island might be fine. One country might be fine for a few years and then turn really chaotic. So, yeah. Meditating, yes, Selena, we have to. Think of it as keeping your own power. That's what I'm telling you. When I meditated, I was so upset about this case because I do love this country very, very much. I think the land, I'm weird this way, you guys. I'll be honest with you. I almost like the land, not more than people, but I'm very tuned into the energy of land. I think America is a beautiful land. It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. There are places, it's a vast nation. There are beautiful places that we're also not treating with respect. And that's part of this whole thing. it's a shame because I have to preach on this a little. God, Spirit, the divine has given us this beautiful planet. I mean, if you are in your right mind, you can see how beautiful Earth is. It's a beautiful planet. You don't have to be in Hawaii, right? Or Jamaica to see how beautiful it is. It's just a beautiful planet. And humans, many, the powerful humans, the humans who have claimed power, I should say, I correct myself, the humans who have claimed power, I always use this word, they rape the planet. And yeah, I know I'm going really deep and a little dark here. They rape the planet. You can't just extract from a planet and not care about the ramifications. I always use the analogy of imagine your own mother cared for you, loved you, and then you begin to physically harm her and abuse her and beat her. And at some point, she hits you back. Okay? You guys tell me, I know this may seem like a strange analogy, but it's what I get. And she finally is like, whew, after you physically abused her. And then we're like, oh my God, we're ripping things out of the earth for the wealth of a few, maybe the increase in quality of life, for more of us. But I do feel bad for young people now. If you're really young, if you're in your 20s, let me know. I mean, do you feel depressed? Do you feel, apparently there's a real sense of hopelessness and depression in youth right now. I'm just wondering if any of you watching are in your 20s, I would say. I'm curious, or teens. How do you feel? Do you feel like the planet is going to be okay for you? I say this because, again, we have a faction that denies climate change when in my lifetime, I can see the climate has changed. This isn't, scientists don't need to tell me. I've mentioned this before, a friend's father. So he would be like in his 70s. And he says to me, when I was a little boy, there was a certain amount of snow. It was bitter. It was so much snow. And he's like, it's just not now. And then people who need to deny that we have any impact on it. Like, oh yeah, weather changes. Of course weather changes. Everybody knows weather changes. But that does not mean, that's like saying, oh yeah, they're bird dropping, so there's always garbage. Yes, but are we also throwing garbage? Of course, humans are having an impact on the planet, and this is scientifically proven. But we don't want to take responsibility for it because we'd have to change our lives. We'd have to change the way we live. In terms of preaching on this, I think we need to live more simply. I think for those of us, and many of my viewers probably are like this, who can live more simply, it won't be as hard. You guys think about the Amish. Like if everything falls apart, I always think, who would survive? And I think who would survive would be people, well, there are two classes. There would be people who built bunkers. And now I'm just freestyling. There are people who've built bunkers. Yes, I know. But who would be okay are people who live fairly close to the earth already, who a sort of loss of technology wouldn't be a huge, big thing for them. So I just think these are just thoughts. What do you think? These are just some thoughts. Let's put up some comments. Yeah. Oh, good. Well, that's good, Jasmine. You don't fear for the future. Are you going to be a part of creating a new future? Because I do think at the same time, as I'm saying, preserve our peace, we need to step forward to create the type of future that we desire, The Amish, I know, right? They are certainly, now it depends. If it's fully nuclear, I'm with you, Cosmic Wisdom. If it's fully nuclear, then obviously the Amish are also going to go down. But if it's a drop of technology where basic human skills are needed, the things our ancestors cared about, you guys. And now, like I said, I'm really freestyling, but I was watching someone talk about, oh my gosh, it was, it's too complicated to get into, but he basically said this tribe that he was from, they live very simply. And he said, people, they didn't work. They didn't have a job. He said, if you were industrious, you just grew your own food. You built your own little house. like all of our ancestors did, that was their work. They didn't go to some weird job that they didn't understand to connect with keeping themselves alive. Their job was hunting or fishing or farming, and it was directly connected to keeping themselves alive. Anyway, so I think things may fall and we may go back to more simple living. I think that could be very painful. It's a destruction, but in cosmic cycles, spiritual cycles, to get back into the spiritual, things do get destroyed and then they're rebuilt, hopefully in a better fashion. So yes, grounded by. Oh wow! I hope I can keep this chat. I'm going to try. Can I copy what you just said? Grounded by Erin June McMorrow. Absolutely recommend the link between the climate crisis. Oh, yeah. Okay. So, Catherine, I'll speak a little bit on that just for those who may not know what you're talking about. My take on it is yes. This was when I was back in grad school in the, this be the like 80s. Nah, when the 80s, maybe late 80s. We treat the earth is treated the way women are treated around the world, which is, it's a possession. The planet is viewed as a possession, and we are to be able to take what we want from that possession, those in power, typically males. So there is a connection with the earth, right? And we always call it Mother Earth. Universally, the earth is regarded as feminine. And yeah, then the way women are treated. So there is a link with that. And when I was in grad school, I think I tried to bring up some Buddhist writings on this, and they basically like laughed me because they thought it was like too simplistic. People were like more theoretical, and I was bringing in books that were already saying this. I think there's a woman called Joanna Macy. Catherine, you may have heard of her, Joanna Macy. It's very famous. But yeah, we take from the earth. And there's no sense of we need to fix it, heal it, limit how much we extract or take or pollute. It just gives to us and we have a right. There's a sense, well, we have a right to take it, but we didn't create the earth. Why do we have a right to abuse it? So yeah, there's definitely a linkage with that about power over dominance. And that's what I mean. That's when I say, what was the word I was using? Now let's use dominance. That's always been, barbarism. That's always been a part of human nature. My feeling is we are evolving. I think the evolution may take some time. That's all I'm going to say. It may take quite some time. Yes, Cosmic Wisdom 99. Okay, I'm going to put this up. Exactly. Thank you. I still remember when I was a little girl, so I am from Jamaica too. And I remember, and this, I still can't place what this was. There was a burning smell. And we didn't have fireplaces, but there's a smell that when I smell it, it reminds me of Jamaica. And I still don't know, but we had like kerosene lamps. And of course, extracting kerosene, like there's an infrastructure to that. But it was simple living. There wasn't electricity. Yeah, we had those. And you guys who've seen like Little House on the Prairie, those kerosene lamps are beautiful, like the little glass and it's like a frosted glass and you've got the kerosene and the little wick. I remember us having lamps like that in the house. And I remember this was so funny. I'm gonna say this. Probably nobody from my family is watching. So my mom had brought me to America. And so we went back to visit Jamaica. And so now, of course, I'm in America. I'm used to certain things, right? You don't even know. You're just used to it. When I went back to Jamaica, you guys, I swear to God, there were like 5 of us sleeping in one bed. I was like 13, so 14. I'm like, we're all going to sleep in the same bed. I thought I'd have my own bed. But you see how, I'm just saying, you get used to like, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to sleep head to foot. So any Jamaicans out there, I think that was how he said it. And I was like, what? And they're like, oh, we're going to like sleep like that. Like, all our heads aren't going to go. They're like, no, the space will fit if we sleep head to foot. And I'm laughing because it's like, yeah, I think as an American living in a very industrialized country, you get certain ideas about how you have to live. So that's all I'm just speaking on here now, kind of from where we started, is I slept perfectly well. It probably was a funeral. 4 or 5 of us in the bed, head to foot. Woke up, I was fine. I survived. I was like, okay, we're going to need to live simply. We're going to need to live simply. Oh, thank you. I don't know which analogy, but the one beating up mom, because that's what we're doing. And so if mom wants to slough us off and have volcanoes and earthquakes, and I do think, I know to many scientifically minded, that would sound superstitious, but everything is connected. Every single traditional culture knows this. So when humans are imbalanced, the planet gets imbalanced. So yes, Earth will continue, even if humans whittle down, just like any species. I mean, think about it. If a species sort of overruns an area, overhunts it, like humans do, for example, with many, that we do in many parts of the planet, eventually, if they don't have food, they can't continue, and their numbers dwindle down. Like that's just facts. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Exactly. The funny thing is, I'm gonna tell you, a lot of my more recent ancestors, I think, are stronger than we are. I say that because their health, right? I mean, I think I had a grandmother, and I know because my family didn't talk much about this, but I want to say it's either a grandmother or a great grandmother who was like 100 and something. Now, this is in the country in Jamaica, okay? Lived to be that old because they were strong people. When you look at people like in Greece, I mentioned Greece because the scientists have, that lifestyle. It's not just the food. These people work, they garden, they're out in the sun, they have social connections, and they eat simply. Okay, they're not getting a Dunkin' Donuts, okay? I'm sorry, everybody loves a little Dunkin' Donuts once in a while, but they're not living on Dunkin' Donuts. It has been shown when McDonald's moves into an area, people, what do you think happens to people's diets? Okay, in countries that didn't have fast food, and then we bring our lovely industrialized food, air quotes, food, diseases they didn't have. Okay, our modernization. If it's so modern, why do people start getting sick and obese and tired? Okay, don't get me started on that. It's crazy. Very different lifestyle. Yes, but we think, and so thank you for sharing that. But we've been now conditioned to think that a simpler lifestyle is backwards. Yeah, I'm going to go there. Welcome if I'm talking about if things break down, given the way America seems to be going in terms of violence and division and common sense going by the wayside. And I'm just saying, how can we, people who want to live a simpler life and keep our peace, the advertisers try to condition us that we need, oh, you need this Lexus. Oh, you need this thing or that thing. And all I'm really saying is look at countries where people do live simpler. If the country can be peaceful, and that's important. I'm not saying that, if it's, if there's violence or famine, but we certainly have technology now to create peaceful living for like all of us. And that's the shame. I feel like we're not doing it. We're not doing it. So yeah, Dominican Republic, if we give people the means to live simply, so if we don't pollute their water, because speaking of the Dominican Republic, I have heard something about some hotels and how they like dump directly. So, the hotels, obviously for the foreigners, go there, but that they don't take care of their own kind of waste properly and things like that. So that's what I'm talking about. That obviously it's not right. And then how people can't live well if you toxify their environment, or if you go extract the gas and then leave fires burning, or if you burn down the rainforest to get hardwood for your nice floor, So yeah, there's just, you guys know a lot of this. I think that's all I'm saying. If we can maintain our peace while still seeing like this craziness is going on, but how can I live peacefully? I think it's just going to be a big issue. Yeah. It is simple living. It's simple living. And if we humans could live in balance, we would be able to grow enough food. We wouldn't have gotten to a point of people, of vast numbers of people trying to migrate. People leave their country when they can no longer get food, they can't get warmth. So, I guess it's called geopolitical instability. Anyway, it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Yeah, very different lifestyle. Yeah, very different lifestyle. Oh, and your first TV. Wow. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. No, not in America. When I came to America, so that was already like the 70s. So yeah. But I had family who lived in the country in Jamaica, and I don't think there was TV at that time. I don't remember seeing a TV. Yeah, probably somebody in the town would have a TV, just like here in America. Back in the day, not everybody in America had a TV. There was like one family who had the TV, and people would go over, right? They'd go over to watch, So, yes. I mean, because even if something bad does happen, one has to have the peace of mind to that. For many people, it's like, okay, there's an afterlife, or I trust, have trust in God. And so whatever happens, so yeah, we need, however you're able to feel and maintain your peace. Coffee is the biggest loss. What? Oh, okay. If we can't get coffee from South America, yeah, I guess. I cannot drink coffee, goddesses. So somebody asked me a question. I want to pull a card. I'm going to pull a card. Just talking. Thank you for letting me vent a little bit. Crazy town. Like I said, my friend's husband's like, America's going crazy. I don't know what's happening with those people over there. Okay, I have shuffled. So I'm going to just pull one card, and feel free to super chat me. You can send me money. I'd be very happy. And it won't help me get the hair out of my eye. I am not getting up to go to the bathroom to go take it out. I'm just going to deal with it. So I'm shuffling now the tarot cards. And yeah, intuition is going to be key. Intuition is going to be key. And yeah, I mean, I do think, yeah, do you believe we are eternal beings? Many spiritual texts, not just from Christianity, many spiritual texts talk about this time, that it will be a time of chaos, that we're already in it. So that's why I draw that big picture to your attention. Like, but there will be pockets of peace. There will be, there will be pockets of peace. And also, the final thing I want to really say on this, the more peaceful we can be, goddesses, trust me, that has a powerful effect. Prayer and meditation, your energy, your aura on a really spiritually enlightened person goes for miles. Like, it has a profound effect. So if you can meditate, get into a peaceful state, do loving actions, keep your mind calm, keep your mind clear, you will have a powerful effect of peace on those around you. So very important. Yeah, let me see this coffee thing. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, right. Jamaica does grow coffee. I can't drink coffee. I love the smell of coffee, Cosmic. But if I have coffee now, I found as I get older, it's way too stimulating. I can't drink it. Of course, in my 20s, I was in New York City. I would throw back some coffee and I'd be like just really hyped and energized and do my job. And my job was very physical. But I'd say the last 10 years, I can't really drink coffee. I love the smell. I can sniff it. Sniff the beans. Can't drink it. I cannot drink it. Well, what happened for me, seriously, is, like I said, I was very sad. I had just heard the verdict, and then that yesterday morning I had to lead my group for the Chakra Course, Chakra Soul Alchemy, which is closing today. I think the clock may have already stopped, but I think you can still register. I would have to look at it. There's a countdown clock. And I was leading them on the third eye and the crown, and I just did the meditation. And even though I was talking, so I wasn't like as deep, I felt so peaceful. Literally, and even until I just started talking about it on this video, talking about it kind of but the peace I felt as I just tuned into spirit and just did this practice, going back to our inner self, our highest nature is love. It said that it is love. It's not like romantic love. It's like we are love. And so the people who are in hatred and and act violently, they have basically lost connection with their true nature. So, you know, like I said, if we, even a small percentage of the population can maintain a high vibration, we can help the planet not spin into chaos. Okay? That is what it is said. That is what it is said. Yeah, too strong. Exactly. I can't. Yeah, a lot of tea, even black tea. Cosmic, I cannot drink black tea. I drink it and I'll just be, if I have a tea at like 9 in the morning, 1 or 2 at night, I'm like wide awake and I'm like, I'm going to read. I'm going to like, my mind is, it's that long in my system. I even, for these last couple of days, I'll share with you, I had like white tea. Like white tea, you guys, is like, it looks like water with like a tint. So I brewed some white tea, get this, 1 cup, and I literally am putting like a third of it into like a chai, like I'll make a chai, and I put like a little bit of the caffeinated white tea, which has like this much caffeine. And that's probably why I'm even hyped right now, because I had some of that. So as we get older, the body does get a little more sensitive as a rule. Okay, that's just holistic. Okay, who has a question? Let me go back up and through. No, my course, it's not about Reiki. We purify and strengthen all the chakras. And I give more specific info than I can give here on the channel. It's organized also. I teach acupressure points for each chakra. So, you know, I teach root chakra points. For the crown, we did points. For the third eye, I taught some facial points. And actually, there is a point right here. I believe it's called the yin tang. At the third eye point. And we did all of that before we did the meditation. So we didn't just do the meditation. We worked on the acupressure points to get the meridian energy flowing. And then we had the mudra. We were doing the mantra, and then we did the meditation. So, yeah. It also gives herbs. I have that from my friend who is an herbalist. She has an herbal school, because I'm not an herbal expert in that way. And she gave 3 herbs, simple herbs. I was like, keep it simple, because it's not a herbal course. So she gives 3 herbs for each chakra. I said it has to be accessible. It can't be something so exotic people can't get it. I tell you how to build an altar. I give journal prompts and questions. You just really dive deep into the chakras. There's audio and there's video for every single chakra. And so that is my course. If you're going to do Reiki, this would be helpful. I have certification for people like you who are healers and teachers. And I feel like that's my mission, you guys, is to work with women who are going to help heal others. So if you want to run a business, a healing business, teaching, tarot, whatever, you have to be strong energetically or your business will not grow. And so being in business can be a spiritual practice. So that is what the chakra certification is for helping women heal so that they're strong and then they can put their energy out and maybe help other women. Like maybe you work with women who are battered women, for example. So if you've taken my chakra course, maybe you incorporate the chakras in working with the battered women. Okay, that's one example. So that's what I'm doing with my course. Okay, yeah. Okay, who has a question? Come on. Usually I have like a zillion questions and I'm like, did you ask a question last week? So hold on. Anybody have a question? Maybe about, it doesn't have to be about balance. That was the theme. Welcome if you're just joining. So yeah, I have tarot. I have some oracle. I'll probably pull, I'll answer maybe 3 different folks. Okay, strawberry, let's see. Oh, thank you, Catherine. Catherine, if you did write okay, Catherine, thank you. You guys, I have my journals here. I'm going to show you them. These are for sale on Amazon. But if you write okay, somebody else, like I said, nobody calls me till I'm live. If you write a review, join my tribe. I'll have to put that link below. That was a client, and it's Sunday, and typically it's Sunday. Come on, people. Come on. Coaching client. If you write a review, there may be a drawing or something to get a reading from me. So this first journal, let me just show you. I designed the cover, like this image. You can tell I'm dyslexic, right? I'm like, which ways? The image I didn't design, but then I changed the colors and put the whole design together. So I made it much brighter. I put the flower in her hair. Guys, excuse me again. This is crazy. Hi, I'm live on YouTube, so I can't talk right now. Anyway, so this one is a gratitude journal and an affirmations journal. And it has a habit tracker too. I've shown this before. It has a habit tracker for different habits. And then it has, each month is themed, because this would make a great Christmas gift. So I'm dropping in an ad right here. So rest is healing. Sorry, guys, trying to figure out. Each month has a theme, a little place to write, but then it also has for the whole week your thoughts. And then deep rest allows for manifestation. So yeah, it's basically, and then like one chapter is role models. And then I give you a prompt of things you could do. So there's a theme for each month, basically, is what there is. And I think that's for 12 months. Okay. I don't know how much it's like. It's like $6.99. Rebirth is another one. That's a nice one. And I just give some prompts, and then there's space for you to journal a little bit. Okay. But if you want more of a blank journal, there's this one. Okay. Black women do journal. I'll make some for everybody on my channel, but I just really like the design. So I put this together, and this one is just a blank journal. It's just a blank journal, okay, with a nice cover. And I've started journaling. I don't want you to read it, so I'm going to hold it way back. Okay, that's my copy. And then this one, the Sexy Money Mindset, is actually really cool. What it is there's a money affirmation. It's 30 days. And I have, and every week you get to kind of do what your results are. Can you see that? But what it is I give a money affirmation. So I'm going to read some of them to you. Okay, so day 3. I find signs of abundance all around me. My focus is on prosperity. And then you write that 30 times. It's my particular method. You envision it, and I go into how you do that. So every day there's a different affirmation. I'm an abundant being living in an abundant world. And that's for somebody earlier who was saying, our mind creates, there are outside conditions, but our mind creates what it thinks we want. This is a spiritual truth. It's very hard for some people to believe. If you don't believe it, it actually doesn't work. You have to. So there are karmic forces. Absolutely. There are outside forces. There are negative forces. But within that, all I'm saying is we have to empower ourselves, and having positive thoughts does change our reality. I believe we're in co-creation. So I'm not saying we completely create. Like some new agey people are like, oh, do this, and in 3 minutes you'll have that. I'm like, no, we're in co-creation. And so this is just a tool to work with that. So let's see. I notice signs of increasing prosperity happening in my daily life. And I just call it the Sexy Money Mindset because it's about getting yourself really positive energy around money. So check this one out. Oh my God, you guys. Seriously? I'm an introvert. I've told you guys that before. I'm an introvert and I am so happy in my house. I'm so happy at my altar. I'm so happy meditating. So tell me if you're like this. So when somebody even calls me, I'm like, what is it? What is it? Why are you disturbing my peace? Okay, I want to do a reading for somebody. Somebody asked me a question. So Catherine, if you did do a, email me. I'll even just put this. I'll put this. So this is the fastest way. Assistant at in the flow of magic. I'm going to do, for the first people who do leave a review, I'm going to do a half-hour reading for free. Okay. So guys, I think it was this journal, because this is the best-selling one. Like I said, this is the gratitude and affirmations. And I don't think I have it set up for this one. If you review this one, well, no, this is blank. So a review is weird of a blank book. I don't know. If you do a review, email me, and the first people who do it, I forget how many I had said I would do, because obviously I don't want to be like the first 100 and then I have to do like 100 readings, which would be crazy, right? So check it out. Leave a nice review. I really appreciate that. Okay, and if you've asked questions before and I've done readings for you, please let somebody else come forward. Oh wait, does Heinz do that? Donna, does Heinz answer the phone? No, Heinz, it's not Heinz. It's every time I forget his name. I'm dyslexic. No, he's a philosopher. He's a philosopher, and he talks about living life simply and not letting kind of the others' ideas about how you should live determine. And he'll just be on the phone, but he mutes. He'll be like, yeah, I don't know. And he gets up and goes to the bathroom. I'm like, dude, either end the stream or hold it. I don't know. Anyway, it's just really cute. I think it's funny, but let's see. What should I focus on? Okay, let me do that. Let me pull. For Jasmine. Okay, guys, let's all take a breath together. So yeah, this is a Rambly Live. I love being here live with you. You can come and go. This is not going to be 3 hours. The guy I'm talking about, his lives are like 4 hours. Even some of his followers are like, we can't watch for 4 hours. I'm like, you don't have to watch him for 4 hours. He's not chained you to your YouTube. Watch him for half hour, then go leave, go eat, go play with your kid, come back. He'll still be talking. I'm not going to be 4 hours. I don't have the stamina. Okay, I do not have the stamina for that. So as I'm talking, I'm tuning in. Jasmine, what should I focus on in my life? I feel like, Jasmine, you know what you should focus on in your life. Okay, this is the card you got, but it was reversed. So yeah, Jasmine, you're feeling like everything is not going to be okay. So I pulled the card this way. So the card says, everything's okay. Don't worry. It's all working out in a beautiful way. But because I didn't pull it upright, even though it's an oracle card, right? We're used to tarot. If it's upside down, it means something else. With oracle cards, when I pull it and it comes out, I believe there's a reason it comes up upside down. So you're having difficulty, Jasmine, in believing that everything's okay. But everything is okay. All right? You need to stop worrying, because your worry is actually the problem. Your worry and your lack of trust, lack of faith. Jasmine, tell me how that hits you. That's really the problem. It's not about what you should focus on. That's not the question. The question is, how can you get calmer, more peaceful, and how can you fall into a little bit of faith that everything is okay and it will unfold? That's the message for you. And that makes sense to me, because again, even asking that question, you think everything's not okay. Something's wrong. I've got to do that. I got to make a decision. Spirit is telling you everything is okay. Yeah. Yeah, Jasmine. Tell me a little more. Like how does that hit you? Are you worried? There's a sense of worry and you're being told it's all working out in a beautiful way. You can't see it yet, Jasmine, because it hasn't ended. It hasn't coalesced into a final result. So it sounds to me like you're in an in-between place where you're kind of, it's like foggy and you don't know, but what you need to have is belief and faith, because it is actually working out. Yeah, it's actually working out. Yeah. Good, good, good. Okay. Yeah, Jasmine, tell me a little bit more. Great. Hi, Scarlett. Scarlett, are you new here? I don't remember your name. Yes, thank you so much. I feel we need to stick together and help each other. Absolutely. Look, it's darkness and light. And darkness in the, not the darkness of the moon or the darkness of the fertile earth. It's a darkness in the like negative sense. And so there is a battle and hatred and violence. Like I said, for those of you who missed the beginning, there are forces, human forces, as well as like just greater forces that want us to all, that want the planet to fall into chaos and darkness. And it's like it feeds them. That's what I keep trying to convey. It's like when we let our energy get twisted like that, it's like, you've seen movies like this too. It's like you're feeding that particular monster. They can literally live on that. Is the Matrix kind of like that even in a way? It lives on our emotions is what I'm saying. And so if you could maintain higher vibration emotions, notice how hard it is. And yes, the media does play a part, but these things are happening and the media is reporting on it. And you get sucked down. It's almost like you guys have heard, and then I'll pull for that question. You guys have heard how like lobsters, like apparently if you put them in a pot of boiling water, one lobster it'll try to climb out, but it'll pull the other down because it's trying to climb out. Anyway, I know that was my analogy. Let's go back to Scarlett. I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. If you're just joining, you would probably have no idea where this stream started from. Who's been here from the beginning? Give me a yes if you've been here from the beginning. I want to see who's had the stamina. Yes, strawberry bows. Check this out. I'm having such a great time. I just want you guys to know that. I went to see the movie. Oh my God, what is it? A Quiet Place? Quiet Place 2, which by the way, that Quiet Place 1, so good, so good, so good. So we saw 2, but it was during COVID. So they opened it in the theaters and like on HBO or something. And I thought that was a mistake. So good. The opening sequence of A Quiet Place 2, beautiful. Scared the crap out of me. And I shouldn't watch horror movies because I am literally shaken after that. I'm like, why do I do this? Why do I torture myself? So I'm laughing, but I mean, it's a serious thing. Yes. Okay. So let me go back. There was a question. Okay. Wait, Scarlett? Wait a minute. Okay. Yeah, I did for Jasmine. Jasmine didn't even. Okay. Jasmine, I want to read. It resonates. I've been going through a rut after losing a lot of my friends. Yeah, so it's all working out okay, Jasmine. I'm sorry that you've been losing a lot of your friends. I'm curious, just because I'm a nosy person, did they move away? Did they pass away? Or did they just move away? Or did you evolve past them, Jasmine? I'm real curious because you said you lost a lot of your friends. My first time living alone and so many other things. New things. Yeah, new things are coming in for you. All right, so the question... Oh, Deej. Hi, Deej. You've been there since the beginning. Yeah. Scarlett. Okay. I feel like I read for Scarlett, but it was Jasmine. It was Jasmine. So Scarlett, I did not pull for you, did I? Because between so many different thoughts that I was having about the planet, about trials, and all this, Scarlett, is there a specific area? Just want to be sure because it's funny because I just remember your face a lot and I feel like, oh, like who spends that much time thinking about those things? It's strange to me. Oh, what do you mean? Strawberry bounce. What do you mean? Strawberry bounce. Scarlett, are you still here? I'm only going to pull if you're still here, Scarlett, and give me make your question more specific or something. Hi guys, so I'm pulling cards. Yeah, Joanna Macy. Check out Joanna Macy. I mean, she's been around since like the late 80s. She was she's been writing about our spirituality and how we're treating the earth and how we're not treating the earth and what we need to do. Oh, okay. I'm interested in building an altar to honor my ancestors. I don't know that. Is there a specific area of the home? I think that's a great question. I don't know that I'd put it in your bedroom directly. I would put it in a space that's private, but altars can be very powerful energetically, so I would not put it necessarily right in your bedroom. But I would go with what feels right. You know, you may have like an attic space for some reason, I'm thinking. A space that's upstairs, that's like a sloped ceiling, like a room like that, where it's a space that you wouldn't use for other things. That could be a place for an altar and meditation. This is answering strawberry. Yeah. Okay. I'm pulling a card. I'm hoping that I'm referring to the plots in horror movies. Okay. I know. Okay. Because real life is scary enough. Okay. That's a good point, Deej. I'm referring to the plots in horror movies. Yeah. I watched one horror movie, you guys. I won't even tell you the name because I don't want you to watch it. That was so disturbing and so negative that I said to myself, it's like that filmmaker's mind. Back to this idea, it was like poisoned. Their mind was so dark and so twisted, and they made a movie. And then they basically showed their twisted mind to other people who could never have thought of some of the stuff. And it was so disturbing. I'm blocking out the name of the movie even. And I wasn't the only one. Like many people were like, that was so messed up. That movie was so messed up. And I'm not even talking about those scary movies where it's kind of funny scary. This movie was disturbing scary. And it's like, I wonder, why does somebody make things like that? I don't think A Quiet Place was like that. It was Aliens, and it was just really good. Anyway. Horror movies. All right, Scarlett. I don't know that you're still here. Are you still here? Scarlett, last chance. And does anybody want me to pull a card for them who I have not read for in the last month or so? It can be a question. It can be general. I'm just not sure that Scarlett, are you still there? Catherine. Okay, it's not what I think. It's not what I think you should do. Okay, I just saw this one, and I know I don't think I had pulled for you. Just looking at the card. I'm going to go back to these. These are fairy cards, and they're very clear. So, Catherine, what do you think I should do in my life at this moment? Oh, Wait a minute. Deej, what is the movie Hereditary about? This is going to be really creepy if that is the movie I'm thinking of. Because, Deej, that would mean like you read my mind. Just tell me a little bit of what that movie Hereditary is about, because I actually think that's the movie I was referring to. You guys watching, is this weird? I just said a movie was so disturbing. I did not say what it was. And I think that Deej got it right. Deej, what was the plot? Just give me like the 2 sentences. Okay. I'm really creeped out by that if you guessed that movie just from me saying that. Jasmine, because I feel lonely while at college. Jasmine, yeah, I mean... Okay, so Catherine, what do you think I should do in my life at this moment? I'm just looking at your name just to try to connect in with you and your energy. Okay, Catherine. Okay, so perfect timing, but reverse. So it's not, whatever you're thinking of, there's something, it's not the perfect timing for it. I don't know if Catherine, tell me, are you thinking of moving or doing something? The card you got, isn't she lovely fairy? Perfect timing, but you got it reversed. So for Catherine, it is not the right time for you to move forward. So there's something that you're thinking of and asking this question. The timing isn't quite right. And I'm really curious. Was it to go to school? Was it to travel? What was it? Was it to have a baby? What was it? Because there's something that the timing isn't right. That's the answer to your question. What you're thinking of that you should do, it's not right now. It's not right now. It's interesting because that's a very specific card. Oh my God. Yes. Hold on. Hold on. Catherine, yeah. So tell me if that resonates with you. Deej, you're really creeping me out. Deej. I think that was the movie I was thinking of. It's a girl, right? And they think she's the reincarnation, but it turns out either it's her brother, and they like slaughter the whole family, and it was a planned thing. Deej, is that movie? Yeah, some sort of chaos god, exactly. And they were like worshipers of this god. Deej, is that the movie? Jasmine's like, yes. Oh my God, you guys. Deej, that's deep that you guessed that. I simply said a movie was so disturbing. I did not give the era. I mean, I could have been talking about a movie from the 70s or 80s or 90s because I do watch old movies, and you guessed that movie. Wow. Wow. That tells me that you also found it deeply disturbing. And Jasmine. Yes, Jasmine. Yes. They put her head like on a stake. That director is known for disturbing films. You guys, I had never heard of him. Yeah, like it was the son. They thought it was the girl, but it really was the son. And there's a scene where the person is dead and they float up. Yeah. Oh my God, Lydia, I think I'm evoking the horror. See, am I intuitive or am I intuitive? I'm like rambled into that. And how many of you have seen this movie and found it fucking disturbing? The decapitated, yes. Yes, people do not see this movie. The movie is called, Deej gave the name here. The movie is called Heredity. Yes. The mother, it turns out they thought the mother was crazy, but I think the mother really wasn't crazy. That movie, I'm telling you, I will use my platform to tell people, do not see that movie Hereditary. It was so deeply disturbing in so many ways. I left thinking that the man who made it was a man, because the underlying theme was that evil, the movie was like evil wins. That was what the underlying theme of the movie Hereditary was. I found it so, yes. I'm putting all of you who saw this. And you guys, I don't even see that many movies. And you knew, Deej, like literally, I'm stunned that you knew, like, that means like I am not the only one who, of all the movies we've all seen, you knew immediately which one it was. That is so wild. Yeah, yeah, I will never unsee that. I know. Oh, and Lydia, I know, right? Like, tell me, what do you guys think was the underlying theme? Like, that's what I mean. Like, yes, of course, you can tell me the plot, but the theme, if you step back from the movie, it's that, oh, evil ultimately triumphs. And I thought, wow, so in this dude's head, he had to come up with this. And it was just so sick and so twisted. I know there are other movies like that, but I wish I had not seen that movie. It's one of the very few movies that I could say I wish I had never seen it. And I'm really sorry that it also disturbed all of you. Because, I mean, you guys are telling me, yeah. Yes. And he showed that was planned. When you're watching it, you think it was an accident, but he basically is like, all of it was planned by this cult and controlled over like 3 generations. So deeply disturbing. I wonder if he was trying to say also, I feel like he might have been linking it to history and trying to say that there's historical hatred. I'm pretty sure the film I don't know if I want to mention that. I'm not going to mention that, but yeah, The Neighbor, exactly. Oh my God, maybe I'll start a movie channel. Jasmine, exactly. The Neighbor was all like, oh, yes, my child died too. And I go to this support group. And yeah, and you guys, when I watched that movie, I did not trust that woman. I said, no, there's something about her I don't quite trust. And then it was revealed she was part of the cult. Ooh, Jasmine, all of us, I wish we had never seen that movie. I wish we had never seen that movie. Jasmine and Deej and me, and Lydia. Yeah. Anyway, okay, yeah. And like I said, like kudos to Deej. All I said was there was a movie so disturbing. I wish I hadn't seen it. I think that's what I said, that it was just so twisted and so dark. And in the comments, Deej is like, that's like this movie I saw. My friend showed it to me. Yeah, I would never have a friend watch that movie. Yeah. It started with the funeral of the grandmom who was very secretive. Yes, and everyone died. Deej, that friend, don't ever go to, I'm serious. The next time they try to get you to go to a movie, just be like, what's the movie about? Is it like Hereditary? Because I don't want to see it. Although I have to say the young girl in there was a wonderful actress. She had strange shoulders. Remember that scene where she was wearing something and her shoulders looked this small because it went right from her head? Yeah, Deej, never see a movie with that person again. If they're gonna bring you to see that, yes. Oh my God, I really may start a movie channel. Yes, Scarlett. So Scarlett, you didn't see the movie we're talking about, apparently. You feel the need to decide something, and so let me pull. Because the other person who I pulled for it was not good timing. You were asking about like what to do, what should you do right now, and whatever you were thinking of, it was not the right timing. Scarlett, I'm just going to pull for you because I thought it was deeply about hatred and grooming the children for evil. Yes. But in the movie, he showed that evil was long standing, right? Because it moved through the generations. I actually think this, I'll just say it. The filmmaker, I believe, was a Jewish man, and I feel that the movie could have been a metaphor for like hatred, and just thinking about like sort of the Nazi era. Not that literally he was, but that it was like a meditation. Because guys, I also wanted to be a film critic at one time. It was almost a meditation on evil, and how far-reaching evil is, because that's really what the movie showed. And we're talking about the movie Heredity, for those of you who joined. Do not watch that movie. Do not watch that movie. Because there are things that are so disturbing in it that you will wish you hadn't seen it, unless you're really into stuff like that. So Scarlett is still here. Scarlett, I'm just going to pull, and I'm going to try to clear my energy. I don't have an exact question because I lost it in the comments, but I'm going to pull what you need to know. Okay, you got the goodbye to the old, hello to the new. So Scarlett, goodbye to the old, hello to the new. You've finished one part of your life, and now a new and even better part is beginning. That's really nice. Scarlett, do you like that? How does that feel to you? Like you're at a crossroads, and maybe that's why you're even asking the question, because when we have to let go of something, it feels like we're losing something. Goodbye to the old, right? You're saying goodbye to what you know, but hello to the new. Hello to the new. So Scarlett, let me know what has left your life. So this is a very positive card. It's just letting you know that the things that you have released, there's not a vacuum. There's never a vacuum. Shrates love. Yeah, tell me a little bit more. You finished one part of your life, one phase of your life, and a new and even better. It's not just a new part. It's a new and even better part is beginning. A new phase is beginning for you, goddess. Release, let go. Don't fight to hold on to things, whether it's relationships, situations, even work, even beliefs. This is very good. And I pulled the card upright. So new and even better than what you've been through. Okay, so just let go of the past. It's already happening. This is not something you're going to control. So Scarlett, she says, yes. Yeah. BB Rodriguez, the horror cost of the victims of 339 of torture would see their lives in these modern horror movies, unfortunately. May they be avenged now. BB, okay, 339 years. I'm just going to put that up really briefly. Wow, wait, really? Scarlett, seriously, that's deep. I just pulled a card for Scarlett, those of you just joining, a journey onto becoming a nun. Scarlett, tell me more. When I was younger, I wanted to become a nun. Actually, when I was, which is very strange as a child, I think I was like 8. And yeah, I've told this story before. It was a brief moment that I actually said that to my mother. A nun passed by, and I said, I want to be like her. This is one of my first memories. My mother was upset because the nun was Catholic, and she's like, we're Baptist. I was 8. And so I said, I want to be like her. And I remember either thinking or saying she loves God. And my mom was just like, yanked my arm, because you're little and you can just be yanked. But you are thinking of becoming a nun, Scarlett? Wow. Okay, well, energy healing versus becoming a nun is I have now met and have access to. What tradition would you do it in? I'm just curious. There are Buddhist nuns. There are, obviously, there are Catholic nuns. There's different, is there a particular tradition? But what, for you, yeah, a whole new phase is over. So something really big, but that's really big. I've always wanted to, she says. Right. Still some obstacles. Hold on, I was trying to put a comment. Still some obstacles. Malurka, I'll pull for you. Hang on, Malurka. Hindu. Okay, wow. Will you have to shave your head? That's so superficial, but that's my question. Scarlett, will you have to shave your head? I think you will. Or cut your hair very short, which is fine. In many traditions, you can be a nun for a year. It's not considered bad. You can take the vows for a year, even 6 months, I believe. There have been many Westerners who have maybe 3-4 years taken vows, and you can not undo them, but you can also, it's not like a shameful thing. So yes, yeah, you would. Wow. Okay. Really cool. I'd love to talk to you about that. You guys, you can do a free 30-minute call with me. It's if you're thinking of coaching. And it's on my website. If you go to the page that's like meditation coaching, I think right there you can see it. This is like once, you don't just yeah. Let's see. So I'm going to answer a question, then I'm going to go. I think I've been live, hour and a half. It's been so much fun. Malurka, I have a question. How do I find my true voice? I get different words in my head. Which do I listen to? I don't know. I'm vibing with this particular deck. So Malurka, can you just tune in with me? Just breathe. All of you watching, just take a quiet moment for yourself as well. And maybe something in this will resonate for you. Okay, it's an interesting card. It says autumn. In the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. Now, technically, I think we're still in fall. So, Malurka, does your question have to do with money at all? This is the card. I'll show you. It's from the fairy deck. In the fall, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. So you asked a question that seems to be about intuition, but it's giving you a sense of timing. I feel like we're just ending autumn. I would still consider it autumn. I don't know the date. Or is it autumn of next year? Malurka, let me know. Does your question, oh, you're welcome, Scarlett. Yes, I think that's a big decision. I think that would be beautiful. And yeah, it can be a time thing. You don't have to be like, oh, this is related to the autumn. And so I'm not sure if it's this autumn or a whole year from now. But I think your underlying issue is money. I've had this come up about a couple of weeks ago with someone, and she admitted her question wasn't about money, but Spirit answered with about money. I think that there's some question for you about money and money flow is what's underlying your question. And it's saying that in the autumn, I don't know if it's this autumn or a full year from now, that you will start to reap abundance from what you have sown. Malurka. So yes, I guess the decision in general, I would say test it, listen to a particular voice, like listen to your intuition, take the action, take a small action, like don't go like do something drastic, do something small and see how it works. You have to kind of start having faith and having trust in your intuition. So you have to, I feel like my light is going to go out in a second. You have to trust and take a step and see if it makes sense for you. We're still in autumn. It's not supposed to end until December. Yeah. So thank you. Thanks, Deej. Yeah. Yeah. See, she says yes, money also. Often people ask a question and that's not the real question. This is very common. It's no blame to you because you were asking about, oh, I hear different voices like tell me do this or do that. The issue is money. Your main issue is money. And this autumn, if we're still in autumn, I'm going to say that it's saying now. It wouldn't be a full year from now, that it would be now. In the fall season, everything comes together and you reap wonderful harvests of abundance. So I always start with faith, start with a belief. And tell me more about the money. Is it job? Is it, because money can come through different ways. I would even say I've had some interesting money has come to me in some very completely out of the blue ways that I didn't expect. I didn't even know about. There are grants. There are loans, but I'm not even going to count loans. Harvests of abundance. You reap. An elder in your family could give you a sum of money. They could give you a car. You could inherit a home. So yeah, talk to me about that. Yeah, thank you. Interesting. I struggle with trust. Yeah. All of us do. And it's that lack of trust because you're not listening to the intuition. I would say meditate more. When you meditate more, your intuition gets sharper. It just does. It doesn't get more cloudy. So you need to sit down and do mindfulness meditation, Malurka. Mindfulness is where, okay, something is coming up with your dancing. Maybe you'll be teaching or a new position with a touring company. I don't know, from the one card. But there's going to be some opportunity, maybe outside of the dance, but maybe it will enable you to dance. Don't just look at your abundance coming from the dance. Money can come in so many different ways, and that's the message I'm getting for you. Money that it will enable you to dance can come from different people. An uncle or a director, a company director may see you in a showcase or something and want to hire you. But it's saying this fall your abundance does change. Yeah. So you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, being a dancer, I studied dance when I was young. I studied dance. I wanted to be a dancer. I know, it sounds like I want to be a lot of things. I actually studied dance in my late teens. I started too old with dance, but I love dance. I mean, that's why I think I got into yoga. I love movement. Those of you watching, you know, I'm doing African dance right now with Kukua African Dance Fitness. You can be depressed and you do 15 minutes with these ladies. There's 3 women, a mom, she's in her 60s, her daughter, and then her goddaughter. And they just, it's like they shoot you out of a cannon. The music starts and you're like it's so fast. You'll be dripping sweat unless you're very fit. I was just dripping sweat the first couple times. I had to stop. I could not do 15 minutes with these women, okay? After about 2 or 3 weeks, I was able to do the full 15 minutes. I was sweating less. It's amazing. So Kukua African dance. And you're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Oh, Malurka, you started as an adult. Okay. Malurka, what kind of dance do you do? What kind of dance do you do? I mean, I'm not trying to be, I don't want to be negative. Some types of dance you can start older, and some types of dance you cannot. Some types of dance you have to start young because your body needs to have a certain, like I'm really thinking of ballet specifically. You have to have that turnout. If you don't, and you can't, it's hard to get that turnout once you're older. Old in ballet is 14. You have to start when you're like 7 to get the turnout. You know, Catherine. Yeah, Catherine, did I pull for you? I think I pulled for you already. I'm pretty sure I did. I don't remember because it's sort of stream of consciousness. Well, yeah, no, Deej, that's a great question. Meditate. Mindfulness meditation specifically. Mindfulness, I have 2 on my channel, how to start, and then I have the middle one. I still need to make the 3rd one of how to deal with thoughts and things that come up. Mindfulness is where you sit, you watch your breath, you watch your thoughts, and you just are calm throughout the whole thing. There are many mindfulness specifically. That's the main way, and journal. And also, I do think we have to cut down on media. We do think, we have to cut down on media because, for example, it's one thing for me to know what a verdict is, but do I need to? And I was doing this with some particular crime. Literally, oh, guys, the one with the girl the van life, because I was into van life, the one where she disappeared. I follow that every day. So every day I'm following the story of this girl till they found her, and then they found the boyfriend. And his body was like, they can't tell because, I mean, he was down to like, yeah, there had been so much decay. They're not sure because he was in like a swamp with alligators and other things that, you know, are pretty large and will just, anyway. So yeah, cut down on media. Like I said, I'm not saying we have to go live in a hole. We want to know about these cases. We want to know what's happening, but to not follow day by day, moment by moment, CNN, morning and then evening, what happened, you know, because I think, like I said, these forces that want to drag us into these places of fear, frustration, despair. Yeah, you know. Hello, yeah. I don't do much ballet. Yeah, but what? Oh, street styles. Okay. Yeah. Dance is competitive. You know, it's like visual art. It is very competitive. But I would say for you, Malurka, really believe you can. Again, going back to mindset, start to say, you know, I'm a wonderful dancer. Producers are finding me. Like whatever it is that you want to happen, start saying it as an affirmation. My style is unique, and I'm sought after as a dancer. Boom. My style is beautiful and unique. Whatever it is, I'm a sought after dancer and choreographer, like whatever you want. This is for all of you. Hi, Anne. what you want, write it out and say it. What I find when I work with clients is they'll do it for a couple of days and then they stop. When you do that, you have to brainwash your mind. And you're like, well, but if there aren't dancing jobs, there are dancing jobs. When you get into the vibration where you come into an audition and I see you and I see 40 other women, let's say, who are up for this position, it's going to come down to skill, yes, but it's also energy. Our energy has an impact on the energy around us. As I said, co-creation. You might not have been here, Malurka. I would work on some affirmations about your skill, about your ability, about how amazing you are. And as I'm saying that, like literally my third eye, like when your third eye is awakening, sometimes you'll get like a pain there. Yeah, work on your belief about yourself. And again, stay open. The money may come from outside dance. But if it's what you really love to do, if it's what you want to do, maybe you can even do it in another country. There are people who maybe they go play basketball in another country. It's hard here, but it's easier in this other place. If it's really what you want to do, maybe you want to do it on a cruise ship, Malurka. I'm just throwing stuff out. Now I know cruise ships probably are down a little bit right now, right, with COVID, but we're starting to come out of COVID. Maybe a Spanish-speaking country, maybe there's less competitive in this region. Like obviously, like if you want to be on Broadway, so where can you find, if you really want to dance, where I would start to say also I would say to myself, I follow my intuition and I see opportunities, something like that. Opportunities come to me to share my gift. And you start looking in the paper, or a friend says to you, oh, they're having this audition. Yeah, absolutely. You can do it. Yeah. Oh, absolutely, Malurka. If it's what you really want to do, keep going, but work on your belief. Because like I said, when I see you're all in a room and I have studied dance and I know it can be vicious, no doubt. They judge. That's what dance is. They judge. But you go in and you're just sparkling. You're like confident. You're effervescent. You're like, we affect the energy of those around us. So meditation, affirmation, cut down on media. Absolutely. Cut down on media. Ballet is crazy. I started with ballet. Afro-Caribbean, yeah. Like I said, are cruise ships an option? There are countries where things are less competitive. And like I was saying in the beginning, they're cheaper to live in than America. Now, yes, there may be a language issue. This is going to sound weird to some of you, but I don't know your ethnicity, but maybe go to a country where you will stand out more. Because you'll stand out more. I don't know. It's weird. I'm thinking of Indian movies, for example. I was watching, this was a while ago, a Bollywood movie, and they needed people to play an American. So I'm like, imagine if it's hard to be an actor in America, anywhere. But I just thought these guys who were playing Americans in an Indian film, so everybody was Indian in the movie and they were the Americans. And I thought, and I'm pretty sure it was filmed in India. And I'm like, oh, these guys went to India and they have a film career. I mean, that sounds weird, right? But they're in Indian movies. So I'm just saying, be creative. Same thing I said to Deej. Same thing I said to think out of the box. And if it's really your dream, there is a way that it can happen. When you hold your dream really close, when you hold your dream really close and have faith, the weirdest things happen. You could walk out of one audition and you talk to somebody who's like, hey, I'm thinking of you for this other thing that I'm doing. Would you be interested? And you're like, well, hell yeah, I am. I didn't get this part, but I'm interested in that. Yeah. So, all right, you guys, how long did I go? I did not go for 4 hours. Oh, it's almost 2 hours, ballet is so strenuous, so crazy, so crazy. As I said, no one watched that movie in Heredity. It was awful. Don't watch other movies by that guy too. I'm serious, because it wasn't awful. It was deeply disturbing. And so I'm saying it was awful. If you want to be deeply disturbed, then watch it. He has other movies that, when I read the reviews, are also deeply disturbing. So do not watch any of the movies by the guy who did Hereditary. It will disturb you. So you guys, Scarlett, BB, Deej, Catherine, thank you so much. Strawberry Bounce. I love these names, Strawberry Bounce. Cosmic Wisdom. All of these names. Lydia. Thank you. Kwana. Hi, Kwana. You were quiet tonight. I make TikToks, take a nap. Oh, yes. Okay. Take a nap, relax with my animals. Yeah. Good. I love that you make candles. I think that's fantastic that you make candles. Olivia, deep breathe and alone time. Yeah. Oh, I know. I have friends. I have a dear friend, before I close, because I want to make it to 2 hours. I'm an hour 55. And I got invited to something, and my spirit was just like, no. It was indoors, and it might just be up to 8 people, but I just wasn't feeling it, partly because of COVID. I was just like not feeling like being indoors in a small space with 8 people. And obviously we'd have to take our masks off because we were going to like drink wine and talk. And I just wasn't feeling it. Stress affects different people differently. If you feel, and my introvert people out there, if you feel that you need that, this fall season is the time for more quietude and for meditation. Okay. And so this is where you really will hear the voices of your ancestors, the voices of spirit. You'll figure out, what do I want to do with my life? What's my next step? And our society pushes us to be outward and to be drinking and partying and celebrating. And we miss our inner life. Okay. I think that's a good note to end on. We miss our inner life. Thank you, Jasmine. And when we miss our inner life, that's how we lose, because if people have no connection to spirit, which is what happens when you have your inner life, you're easily led. And you guys have seen those cows, how they put a ring through the cow's nose, right? And you've seen it, I think in India, like it may go through around their face, but also through their nose, I think. You'll start to feel, oh, I need this to be happy. I need that. Oh, I'm not good enough. Too much magazines, too much of this sort of fake, glossy BS, because you are not a consumer. You are not a consumer. You're a human being. You're a spiritual being. And I was really repulsed recently. I was watching a video by someone that I like, but it was business stuff. And the woman kept saying, well, the consumer, we're not consumers. Why couldn't she just call us the humans, the people? The eaters, we eat, we poop, we're but the consumer, it's making you like one narrow thing. It's about what you buy. Oh, that's what you are. You're a consumer. You're not a consumer. You're a human being having a life, living a life, right? Let's determine what we want with our life. Let's know that our energy is powerful. Okay, your energy is very powerful. There are those who want to steal it, and when you let it, it's like they try to poison your energy. And like I said, this is what I'm channeling for you guys. They feed on it. So the real fight is to keep your energy high vibration, stay in a state of love, because when you get really toxic, that affects you on a physical level. You become weaker, you become ill. And I'm not blaming anyone, because we as a people have dealt with so much. And so there's a real heavy burden on our physical bodies. So watch my video on the Divine Feminine, the last one. There were 3. It's part of a 3-part series. I would love for you to watch the 3. I'm going to make them into a playlist so you can find them and put them on my homepage. But this last one was called Embodiment. There was a second one, which I really loved. The first one did really well. The Divine Feminine is the first one. I think my second one was the best up till now, and then the third one. And just watch them. It's sort of to tap you into the divine feminine. I do feel a lot of it was channeled. It wasn't just coming from me, Viv, as the personality. So check those out, the divine feminine affirmations. The last one I did, it was about 4 days ago, so you can find it on my channel. Check out my journals. I have 3 so far, and it's not just 3. I also have a blank one that just says Blissed and Blessed, which is just a writing journal. And someone from Italy ordered one, and she said the cover, it was so sweet. She's like, the cover felt like velvet. It's interesting. It's printed, but it has a very nice feel. So I don't know how to give the link real quick, but I will put the link in the header. Like if you go to my homepage of Yoga Bliss Dance, I'll give me about 5 minutes and I'll put something there so you can go over to Amazon, because they're nice gifts to give. And there's, each one's a little bit different. There's the little money one, the money mindset one, the makeover with all the money affirmations. So yeah, give me about 10 minutes and I'll put that link in. And have a beautiful and blessed week. Now, if you're in my tribe, it's Sunday night, either Sunday night or Monday morning, I send out a theme for the week. So let me, real quick, if you want to join, hold on, let me just get my link. Hold on, guys, I'm pulling up I'm opening up on my Mac. Hold on, don't go. Oh, wait, here it is. I got it. All right, and then I'm not real hungry. Can I end the live with, I had a horrible, had like a little date that was like, that's what I was going to talk about too. Oh my God. My first Tinder date. I will share that. No. The dude says to me, after several things happened, and I'm being super nice, super tolerant. And then he says, oh yeah, I'm leaving town. And I'm like, my head just, and he looked down because he realized, oh, what did I just say? And I said, you're leaving town? So you go out on a date with someone and you're like, I'm leaving town for like months. Yeah, I'm leaving. And I'm like, and so, yeah, that was pretty much where I thought, well, why don't we just wrap this thing up right now? Give me a thumbs up. Give me a yes if you're watching and you've had recently a bad date or one that was memorable, because that just, I really was like, dude, I really think my time is precious. Like, I love doing this. This was 2 hours, but I had a wonderful time. I really love connecting with you. If I'm reading, I'm happy, right? That's not time wasted, whatever. Did my yoga. But you meet up with someone and then you tell them, oh, I'm leaving. So I'm like, so how does the dating happen? Like, it, yeah. So at that point, I know that was so insightful. Oh, no. Yes. No. The link I just put in, sorry, goddesses, I was going on about my bad date. Join my tribe. You get 3 meditations. And, oh, no. And what you'll get is I am doing like a little weekly, I just do a theme. I pull a theme, I channel a theme for the week. So if you're in my tribe by like tonight or tomorrow morning, I send it out Sunday night or Monday morning. I send them out this theme. I mean, I pull one card, but the idea is this is what you need to focus on. Interestingly, last week, goddesses, it was about love. And I was like, oh, that's interesting. And the eclipse, it definitely tapped into themes of the full moon eclipse, which just passed, but which is still affecting us. It was a card about love and the need for self-love and to understand that we emanate love. Love is our very core, our essence. And so when I went and was doing some research on the eclipse that happened this past week, it also tapped into that. So yeah, so join my tribe, and that way you'll get that weekly theme. I do mention my journals, and I mention that you can work with me because you're on my newsletter, so you get my newsletter. Okay. So what about my bad date, ladies? Please. I look so cute. I didn't want to like overdress. I didn't go in with anything like super sexy, and I'm glad I didn't. I'm glad I didn't. Okay. I don't know. I was just disappointed because this person on paper, and what is it? My friend said GOP, good on paper. I'm perfectly nice person, but I just think it's wrong to go get somebody to spend time and then after maybe not being the most courteous to then say, oh, I'm leaving town. Uh, you know, like why waste someone's time? I think that that is insensitive, you know? Yeah, I think that's insensitive. What is it? I had two memorable rotten dates. I mean, exactly. I love the stories because I was, you can recount what happened. I'm so sorry, Donna. If you only had two, because if I go back in time, but I to close this on a positive note, you know me, and it's true. I know I know more than two, but two recent women who have found partners on Tinder. Um, and it's a beautiful match. I've met both their partners, and I even was like, "Oh, where'd you guys meet?" And I was actually the guy was so nice. I was talking to him. I'll tell you the story. It was like a outdoor picnic in my town. Really nice dude. Too young for me. I was talking to him though, and I said, and he goes, "Oh, I met her. Like, let's call her Sheena. I met her on Tinder." I was like, "Really?" And he kind of knew. He's like, "Yeah, it's changed. It's not just hookups anymore." And they were an adorable couple. Again, because I'm so intuitive, I could like their energy matched just everything. And then I have another friend who also met someone a couple months back on Tinder. Now, what I know though is you do have to weed through a lot of people. It can be very distressing. It can be very depersonalizing, Donna. Believe me, I feel you because, you bring yourself, it's very vulnerable. And then, the person either is just really not even ready for dating. That's something I find. I'm going to put up. That's what I noticed, Malurka, from the comment. Wait, what? What? Okay, no, it's okay. First live. Yeah, a lot of people on online dating apps are not really ready for relationships, I think, and I get that. They're on it so that they can like swipe and feel that they're trying to date, that they're getting out there. But I think there's a big difference between really being ready. So anyway, yeah, had a just a kind of sad date experience today, but I feel better that I got to hang out with you guys. And like I said, give me 10 minutes. I will put the link to the journals in the header. I'm gonna have a nice dinner. I'm gonna study my Italian, which is going well. I can't say a lot. What can I really say? You guys are gonna laugh at me. Those of you who are still here, and there's still a bunch of you here. Let's see. I'm thinking of maybe doing an Instagram where it's just focused on learning Italian, but I don't want to give myself more work. But for all of us, goddesses, it's good to have a project or something you're working on that excites you. I want to say that. We all have something that we love, whether it's our dancing, so always have something in your life that excites you, that makes you happy. So all I can really probably say is ciao bella, mi chiamo Vivine, sono americana, I can say more, ask how you're doing, ¿cómo estai? It's very similar to Spanish. Do I have anybody right now who speaks Spanish? Milurka Rodriguez, do you speak Spanish? And anybody who knows, Donna might speak Spanish. Spanish and Italian are very, very close. Unfortunately, I don't know Spanish, so it's absolutely no help. And even French as well, right? French, Spanish, Italian are all have a lot of overlaps. I think also Portuguese, maybe. But I just think it's a beautiful language. And I have to tell you, my brain, I feel like as we get older, it is very important to keep our brain active. And so I'm just saying this for any of you, not that, maybe there is a language you love. Like some of you, maybe Spanish should be a language. Look into it because think of it. It opens the world to you. It opens millions of people. Now you're going to speak their language. and gives you so many more connections. Yeah, you speak Spanish. Yeah. My mother, Mallorca, my mother is like, because I grew up in the Bronx, my mother is like, well, you should learn Spanish, because I think I chose French in my school. We had two options, Spanish or French. And I think I chose French, and my mom's like, you should choose Spanish. And she's like, well, because everybody speaks Spanish here. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I was just like, I like the sound of French at the time. Both classes would have been bad because the schools were bad. Okay. The schools were like overcrowded. So I didn't get very far with French. I didn't really pick up any Spanish, but it's a beautiful language. Oh, my channel on Patreon. Yeah, thank you for asking. So Patreon, you guys, yeah. You can tell I'm having a good time because I'm not signing off. Patreon is just a way where for like, hold on, Yogini Kala. I'm just looking up my own. What it is what you get for being a patron. You're really supporting the public YouTube channel, okay? If you get benefit from my videos, it's a way of just like supporting. And in exchange on Patreon, it's for creators. So what it is, it's basically like a channel membership, but I don't do it here on YouTube for a variety of reasons. It's easier, but it's also harder. YouTube takes a certain percentage, and I think they take I think they take like 40% or 30%. So if you're a patron, it's like $6 a month or 10 or 12. And what I do is I give a theme every month. So last month's theme was going inward, and I shared herbs that I recommended. And then you have a live. So it's not super time consuming because people don't have time, okay? And I wanted to give a lot, but what I noticed is I think people just wanted to support the channel, and this was their way of doing it. They couldn't attend the live. So it's a way to have me, like access to me in a really small group, like 3, 4, 5 people may show up. I vary between having about 15 patrons to up to about 22 patrons of the channel, and I appreciate if you're a patron even for a few months. And so I call it Goddess Circle. We meet once a month around the full moon, and it's just like sharing. It's different than this because I can see you, and you can see the other women are there, and we do sharing, we meditate. And like I said, I usually relate it to the theme. So this month, that just passed, like 2 days ago, I shared some herbal formulas that I highly recommended. We talked about the new moon in Taurus. I did a meditation where we were envisioning giving things into a fire, either something we wanted to release, goddess, or something we wanted to call in. So we'll always do a meditation, and then we have a discussion, and I share some wisdom, and a very focused, more focused than like this. So if you would like to be a patron, that would be really helpful for me. You know, my YouTube channel is not so huge. It's like not like I'm making 5,000 a month or something from YouTube. I'm not. Currently my YouTube channel is making about 200 a month from ads. So thank you for watching my ads. If that's all you can do, just watch an ad, okay? Watch the ad before. Also, I want to tell you, because I really do care about my viewers, I tell YouTube to not put an ad in the middle. The only time I will put an ad in the middle if it's like a talking video and it's not a meditation. So I apologize. If you watch one of my meditations and there's an ad, I did not tell YouTube to do that. YouTube is a corporation, okay? If you didn't know. And YouTube makes money from the ads, okay? They give us like, I think literally it's like 80 cents per 1,000 or something. It's like really... So the reason I even make $200 right now from YouTube is because I have like 600 videos. I have a lot of videos that I've made. Many other creators make, 5,000 a month. They make a lot of money from being a YouTuber, and that's fine because it does take a lot of work. It really, really does. You have no idea when you see a video on YouTube, you guys. The editing time is what often takes a lot, but some people script their videos. Obviously, a live, you don't tend to script it, and that's why I like them. I don't have to edit them. I can just be here with you. But so Patreon is just a way that I have 23,000 subscribers. So if even 1%, would that be 2,000? Would that be, I am so bad at math. 23,000 and you move the decimal point. I don't know. But if even a small percentage were patrons, that would be awesome. And so, yeah, you get the live with me in a really small group, and you get a theme, a different theme each month. Very specific, just private for the patrons. So that's what you get. And the link is there. I'll put it up. It's patreon.com, Yogini Kala. Oh, okay. Oh, I love this. So I'm going to keep going. I love this. Let's see. Deej says, yes, yes. Deej, you know, seriously, guys, see, you know, I love to talk. Language will keep our brain fresh, especially if you're getting into your 40s, 50s, 60s, learn a language, okay? So, like, I got this book, and I might return it because, get this, I found a typo in the first story. Like not a typo, a mistranslation. And I'm like, I'm just beginning and I'm finding mistranslations in here. It said something like, the man is along in the street. And I'm like, you mean alone in the street? And then when they put it in Italian, the Italian was correct, alone in the street. So I said, I might return this to Amazon. So anyway, I saw this great comment, which is what made me go to that. So Donna says, I have Dominican family. Yes, Spanglish. I know, it's Spanglish. Come on. I grew up in New York. It's Spanglish. But that's what happens with all languages, right? I was watching a video about Italians who came here. They don't speak Italian from Italy. Especially we're talking now, okay, so 1800s and then the descendants, but they mixed all the languages together with English. And that's what developed, right? So that happens with every language. You know, when a people move to a new country, their language mixes, like that's what happens. So yes, Spanglish, absolutely. When someone adds, I think YouTube Premium has no ads. Yeah, I think that's what they get, right? Premium. It's fine. Like I said, because each person, literally, it's such a small amount. Listen, guys, YouTube makes the money because what happens is, so say you watch, there's all these network marketers like make $10,000 online in 1 month. They pay YouTube. So YouTube makes the vast majority. I think YouTube, what is the split? No, see, it doesn't split by percentage. For example, if I had a channel where I talked to you about cell phones, iPhones, and I did reviews and showed you, my channel would make much more money. It's very competitive niche. So it's based on what advertisers think the cost that they should pay, whatever, for, you know, so yeah. Some spiritual folks who make a lot, I'm sure. Heinz makes his channel, I'm sure, because he's got one video that had like over 1 million views. His first one with the tea. I know you guys have seen it, and it was beautifully done. I will give him like, yes. I was like, wow, no, he's smooth. First of all, he's very attractive. He's smooth and he pours the tea, and the editing was just really on point. So yeah, I'm sure his channel makes a good amount of money. And the guy I was recommending to you guys, who talks this sort of philosophy of life, also very different than Heinz, his channel. So spiritual channels can do well, you know. So I really appreciate you guys when you watch a video, and yeah, leave a comment or a thumbs up. You know, if you can't become a patron, that's fine. Just give a thumbs up. Let YouTube know that you like this video. Then they show it to more people. YouTube is always gauging, and you guys, they watch you. Like Gigi, I have Gigi on. So say Gigi watched a yoga video of a, you know, African-American yoga teacher. Then she watched something about, I don't know, bunnies, kittens. They're like, okay, Gigi likes kittens. Gigi likes kittens. We're going to find more kitten videos, and we're going to find more Black yoga teachers. And so this algorithm is so smart. It's just like, it's like, oh. And so what I mean to say also is, so then they group a bunch of Gigis together. They're like, oh, this type of woman likes this type of video. We're going to present this to her, right? So it's fascinating. So anyway, that's just my short education on YouTube. Thank you guys so much for being here. Gigi, you came late. I did a couple of cards for folks. Gigi is a patron. Thank you, Gigi. And let's see, who else? Oh, I was Creole's best. Is she doing free readings? Well, I did. I did like 4 Creole. I'm sorry. And I'm winding up now because it's 2 hours. So I'm proud of myself. This was my longest live. Thank you for being here. Also, under the video, not in the chat, if you have video ideas, put a comment. All right. I would really appreciate that. Like I said, if you can't be a patron and money is tight, just comment under the video, give it a thumbs up. That is really a positive for any creator. Even if you don't like the video, believe it or not, if you give a thumbs down, YouTube is like, oh, they engaged. They hated it, but they engaged. So you can give me a thumbs down if you really feel that you didn't like it. Give me a thumbs down. It's okay. I'm all right. So yeah, I'm gonna go practice my Italian and get my old brain cranking. And yeah, I just think it's a beautiful language. That's what I wanted to end with. I chose it because I do think it's a beautiful language. Any of you thinking of learning a language, don't think of utility. If you like Icelandic, I mentioned that because apparently it's a hard language, or you want to learn Swahili, I'm thinking maybe we'll see how one language goes. As we know, most Americans, again, let's be honest, I love this country. I do, especially the land. Like I said, it's a beautiful, very spiritual land that we need to take care of. But we don't have to learn foreign languages. It's not like you live in Belgium and France is there and Spain is there. And, you know, many countries in Africa, people speak 4 languages, like just like that. Not a big deal. Not a big deal. You speak your language and then this group's language and you just do. So I think, though, it's important to choose a language that you love. So if you love the sound of Swahili and you know you want to go to that region, or you love the culture. So don't like my mom was being like, well, you should speak Spanish. That's where everybody speaks it. It's more common in America. And I'm like, but I really love this language better. You know, so go with what you love, whether it is, you know, there are Native American languages, which are apparently very difficult, like Navajo. There are endangered languages that one can learn, you know, online. So I don't know. I just feel like I'm supposed to be saying this to someone, like, learn a language. It's a way to keep your brain sharp, and especially with COVID, and especially those of you who, like me, live in a place where the winter, you go have a winter climate, you know, learn a language. In like 4 or 5 months, you'll be able to have like a simple conversation, say how old you are, where you're from, what you like. What can I say? Like, oh my God. It's so hard, you guys, when you start to try to talk, you get really tongue-tied and you can't get the word. But like, mi piace means I like. So, well, I know how to say what I am. Like, sono insegnante di meditazione e yoga online. It's funny because some of the words are just like English. So I teach meditation and yoga online. I know how to say I have a YouTube channel. I can say other things, but it's like, it's very challenging. And I think that's why many of us don't learn languages. We're afraid of being embarrassed because we sound like an idiot. So don't let that fear stop you, right? Remember, this video the theme was the idea of maintain your peace. So if you want to learn a language, if you want to learn Spanish and you sound like a 1-year-old, who cares? Over time, you're going to sound like a 3-year-old, a 5-year-old. You know, I want food. Tortilla, taco. You know, you'll still sound, but they'll be like, oh, you know, this person's trying to learn our language. And that's the other beauty I want to leave you with, to start away from the negative that we started with some of the craziness in the country. Any country in the world, when you go and you try to speak their language, invariably people are pleased that you're learning their language. You know, imagine if you can speak a few words of Swahili or Urdu. You know, I'm thinking of my college friend, or Indonesian, you know, whatever. You go and you can just say, thank you. I love your country. The food was great. Especially as an American, when you show that you took the time to learn a few words, you're showing respect, and people reward you in, like, you know, treating you better. Okay. Give you maybe a free meal and like make friends. And I think that's what we need right now. We need more unity. We need more cross-culturalism. We need more understanding. We need less fear. And so I think that's also behind my language learning is we need to, I want to say it was Nelson Mandela. It was somebody very famous who said, when you speak to someone in your language, you get to their mind. But if you speak to them in their language, you get to their heart, right? And so very powerful, very, very powerful. So you guys, thank you so much. Janae, Donna, Milurka, Anne, who was here, Lydia, Jasmine, Deej, Simone. Thank you, Simone. I really appreciate you. Thank you, thank you. Brown skin women who was here, Scarlett, who I did a reading for, BB. BB had some wonderful comments. Thank you, BB. Really appreciate that. So I may be live next week. I think I'm going to pick once or twice a month. So it probably won't be every single Sunday. But yeah, just to hang out, have some tea. And my tea's gotten cold. So have a beautiful and blessed week. Remember, join my tribe if you want to get the theme for the week. I'm going to send it out tonight or probably tomorrow morning. I'm going to send it out tomorrow morning. And so it's just a little short video. It runs like 5 minutes. I just pull a card of the energy of the specific week. I send it just to people who are on my email list. And so the link was really long, you guys. And you also get 3 free meditations, including one for the inner child that is really, really good. You get my inner child meditation when you join. Let me pull it up one last time. If I can find it. No, I don't think I can easily find it. I will put it below in the comments. Give me about 10 minutes to do that. So stay blissed and blessed. Stay safe. And remember, you're here on purpose for a purpose. Okay? I love you and be well. Bye-bye.